Welcome everyone to another bonus run for the Final Fantasy Randomizer Rando Marathon 2024. Summer 2024, I should say. This is in support of the Liam Foundation, a community organization for encouraging, assisting, healing, and empowering the LGBTQIA+ community through respect, advocacy, and passionate hearts to promote thriving in society. Based out of Rockford, Illinois, and they have been doing their great mission since 2015, helping their community through a number of events, including a recent Pride Parade. All money donated during this bonus run and the entirety of the marathon that we had last weekend will be going to the Liam Foundation 100%. If you have a little that you can give, please do. I'm your host, DarkMoonEX. I am here with our runner, Phantom 5800, who will be running the Paper Mario Randomizer, and I am going to get out of the way and let Phantom do what they do best, run this game. So Phantom, why don't you take it away?
Alright, thank you, Dark Moon. So I will be doing it Paper Mario Rando. I will be doing it what is a bit more than typical like race settings. I'll be actually playing every chapter. For the race settings, we typically only do 4 chapters, which means items can only be placed in, say, chapters like 1, 3, 5, and 6. And we would check at Shooting Star Summit at the beginning to determine what chapters we need to actually beat. But instead, I'll be having to have items placed everywhere. And that includes everything. There's no keys necessarily locked to their own dungeons. They can be... The key for Chapter 1 dungeon can be placed literally anywhere. We found that key sanity typically works pretty well for this game, as noted by that runes key right there. And the main reason for that is just because travel is so fast. There are... I counted this recently. There's around like 350-ish checks in the game. Ralph here starts with 4 items, and for the first 4 chapters cleared, he actually gets into 3 additional checks. So when compared to other randomizers, this would be the equivalent of like shop sanity, full key sanity, NPC gifts if that's an option. We can't actually... Can we turn those off? I actually don't know if we can. I don't think I ever have if we could. I will be doing some minor skips like that hammer grab for the item there. Nothing major. Okay, I don't need the bucket soon, but I do need money. It's only 15 coins. That's fine. Letters. I could need 3 letters. Letter turn-ins could be randomized, but I choose not to for these type of settings. There's actually a lot of... There's still a lot of settings I don't have enabled, despite the things that I do. Technically, this could be a check, depending on combination of coin block settings. But the big thing here is the homework room that I escaped too quickly. This will take me back to Toad Town every single time, which is just a really quick way to get around, on top of our default movement speed. Quickly mark on the tracker I have locally, so I don't forget what I have. So, typically for Sphere 0, I like to check Toad Town and what we call Prologue first. It's just the biggest group of areas. Chapter 1 will be shortly after, but Chapter 1 has a coin gate of 50 coins, so I'll need to sell something before I can go there. Notably, star pieces are also... could be important. Not necessarily, but they very well could be. And I also will be avoiding pretty much every encounter, unless I am forced to take one for a check or for story progress. That is free money. Okay, that's really good. Since I have Watt, I actually have access to Chapter 5 also. Chapter 5 is a pretty dense location. I would ideally like to see some damage before I go there.
So what are you really looking for, like, at the start of this when you're getting ready to go off and do a chapter?
So the main thing that I want right now are partners. Partners open up the vast majority of the game. So I have Watt. Watt does probably the least of most partners. Watt gets you into Chapter 5 via the whale. I could get that if I had a different partner. Bo gets you into Chapter 4 through the yellow house, needing to hide from the Shy Guys. Cooper probably gets you some of the most early, as well as Bombette. Cooper would get me into the first dungeon, as well as I will need Cooper for Chapter 7. Bombette would get me to Mount Rugged. Paracarry would take me from Mount Rugged to the desert. Something like a super hammer would let me take the shortcut pipes in the sewers. So there's a lot of little things that could be that just opens up the game in any direction, really. But those are the main things: partners or gear upgrades. Most of the items that we actually need are technically fairly late. So, like, keys for dungeons aren't typically very useful until you need to actually clear the dungeon. There's a bunch of items for Chapter 6 that aren't useful at all until you want to fight the boss, which does lead to some sort of casino situations. So there's quality of life on 25 star pieces. I'm probably not going to end up getting that, but I will keep that in mind. There's a lot of really good items here. Dodge Master is actually one of the probably the best badges in the game, assuming I find all of the other pieces of my typically desired build. Dodge Master's good. Mega Jump is fine. So all of the badge costs for both BP and FP are also randomized, as well as partner FP costs being randomized. It doesn't affect too much, but it does tend to force you to do some slightly different strategies early on. So Kent is here. He takes 50 coins. We start with 100, so it doesn't make a big difference. Just got to be smart about not spending everything at the beginning. So I'm going to do Chapter 1 stuff real quick, and then probably take the whale to Chapter 5. I will also be taking note when I do have to do encounters. The enemies are randomly scaled. So while this is Chapter 1, they could be as strong as what you would typically find in like a late game area. Like say Chapter 7 or Chapter 6. And I can usually tell just by their HP. Typically how that goes. That's a vanilla Thunderbolt. I'm not gonna bother. Thunderbolt is nice, but not important enough for me to go out of my way to get that out of logic. Nice. Power Jump is actually a big deal. You will also notice that a lot of cutscenes, in fact, basically every cutscene in the game just doesn't exist in the randomizer. There isn't even NPC dialogue, like Quizmo doesn't talk to you there at all. Just gives you the star piece. Okay, so I need to sell a few things. I need 40 coins, Dolly and Miracle Water, and I got the red key. Dolly is a little annoying. I don't really want to go back to Goomba Village to turn that in, but I do have it at least. There are a lot of... Oh, okay, that's incredible. There are a lot of spots where we will be getting... I have to come back for that. Getting various items that are just NPC turn-ins in the middle of nowhere, usually. Usually in places I've already been to. And I'll try and avoid going back for those. but just keep them in mind. These tree bounces are RNG. But I will gladly take Bombette. So Bombette will let me go to Mount Rugged, which isn't really a big deal without Paracarry, but it's kind of nice. Okay, maybe I should have got the Thunderbolt. This is a low-scale chapter. Usually if it only has one enemy, you can immediately tell. I believe that's chapter 2. Vanilla chapter 1 fuzzies have 3 HP, so... Quickly check one item here. And then I guess I'm going to chapter 5. Yeah. Power Shock is 3 FP on Watt. That's not terrible. I would rather... I will need to Power Shock once. Looking more and more like I should have grabbed that Thunderbolt. But Fuzzipede shouldn't be an issue no matter what. Fuzzipede here can have anywhere from, I believe 16 is the lowest, to 22 HP. And this is my path into chapter 5. Worst case scenario, the quality of life in the odd key that I saw isn't actually quality of life when I actually do need it. It's unlikely. Incredibly unlikely. This is very high scaled. So this is probably 7 scaled. Might be 6, but this does more damage than Mario's jump attack. We're just gonna throw coconuts at Fuzzipede, I guess. And I have a Super Soda, so I can Power Shock again. Fuzzipede can heal, so I would like to avoid him ever healing. Or even having the opportunity to do so, which is what Power Shock is really here for. And that was a high-scaled enemy at level 1. Combat in this game is not very complicated, admittedly. If you always have, for the most part, always have the tools you could potentially need to defeat even like endgame level enemies with very little effort at level 1. So, while I do take note of like how enemies are scaled, I don't really necessarily ever consider it an issue. Sometimes it changes strategies around. Mostly for bosses, though. Can't tell what that is. D-Down Pound is not worth it. I do also like to keep my badge menu pretty small in terms of what I pick up. Oh. Close. Yeah, that's chapter 6 scaled. Not too bad. Maple. HP plus could be really nice, actually. HP plus is typically one of the best badges to get. So vanilla cost for HP plus would be 3 BP, meaning that a BP level up is equivalent to an HP level up if you account for the badge. However, because the BP cost is randomized, it could be 1 or 2, as well as being higher costed, of course. But at 1 or 2 BP, that's just a strict discount for leveling up BP. And I didn't find anything here that I can immediately use. So I guess I'm going to Mount Rugged after all. Kind of unfortunate. There were 2 letters in Harry's store, so I can grab those before I go to Mount Rugged at least. Oh, speaking of one of the best badges in the game, 2 is fine. That, yeah, the HP plus is bad. Power Rush is one of the 2 main badges I'm looking for. Ideally, there's like, 3 or 5 that I could possibly want, but Power Rush is like the biggest one. Because Power Rush gives Mario +2 attack when he's at 5 HP or lower. So I'll be making heavy use of that. Especially once I have Last Stand, which will give Mario half damage at 5 HP. And since I have to clear every chapter, it's very likely that I will come across those badges. Typically in a race setting, you are likely going to be missing a lot of the strongest badges. You won't necessarily find everything. But in a seed like this where I have to beat every chapter, I'm probably going to end up close to full clearing more often than not. The other bushes there are all coin bushes, so I don't need to check them. Because overworld coins are not randomized at all. I probably should have randomized coin blocks, but that's fine. Doesn't make a huge difference. So we're gonna come over here and hit Waka in the head. Waka can actually never be progression, and he's actually worse than progression. But he can usually have like good consumables, good items. And if he has a good consumable, you can actually get all 8 hits off of him for something. But for what I had there, I mean, Sluggo is literally never worth picking up. I won't do it. I don't need to pick up attack effects badges today. Although I could go back and pick up Sluggo if you want me to not be able to spin. And also walk at only the slowest possible speed for the entire game. That is always an option.
I think we're good.
Okay, so that's 2 magical seeds. That's actually chapter 6 entry. I don't actually have Paracarry. I just saw him and was like, oh, I can grab that. No, I can't. So we start with 2 magical seeds, which means that the 2 that I just found on Mount Rugged are the 2 that I need. And Pyramid Stone is also on the mountain. Paracarry is going to open up most of the game at this rate. So he is definitely what I'm looking for. Odds are he's probably in chapter 6, but I could find like sushi. Sushi would open up most of chapter 5. I would actually technically be able to beat... No, I wouldn't. I still need the Ultra Hammer for chapter 5, but I'd be able to come close. Unless I got Paracarry or Lackey. Alright. We need 2 blueberries to do the checks involving these items. Item sources like that are typically replenishable are still replenishable if the item that they drop is low value. Okay. I'll be able to see up here what the moles look like. Mailbag is whatever. I do have a bubbleberry too. Storm key? Storm key. Storm key is 4 checks in Toad Town for literally free, so that's pretty nice. I'd gladly take that. Alright, so moles are vanilla. Chapter 6 scaled. Okay, Bombette is fine. I'm gonna leave these. Okay, so I guess that, yeah. 5 is 7, 6 is 6, 1 is 2. The scale of the chapters doesn't actually affect, like, any assumed progression of, like, what you're supposed to do, but it is still nice to know. The game could want me to fight the moles, but I'm going to assume that it doesn't, and it's actually being reasonable. I have a couple good items, but I don't have much in terms of, like, damage on partners yet. I do have the crystal berry. I think I would rather go over here. I'm not gonna do the large fights here yet, if I can avoid it. I got the storm key and the mailbag. That's like decent. I can turn in the melody. Repel gel is good. Getting the calculator could be nice here. Ah. I could just blow up the rock, but I wanna... Never mind. I'll just blow up the rock, whatever. Not worth sitting there for a little bit to get that jump. So, if I do this now, it means I don't have to come back to this room. Nice hitbox. I don't think I've ever actually done this in my probably over, well, my confirmed over 1,000 hours playing this randomizer. Talking to the sun and homeward shrimming away. The next time I enter the previous room, Lackey should be there, but I am saving him for later if I decide I want to do him. Calculator, please. Okay. Okay, that actually gets me something. That is going to be a big detour into chapter 3, but that's fine. Ironically, there's not a ton I can do in chapter 3 without Paracarry. But also, this is typically how early game goes. Drags you around. Okay, this actually gives me the desert. I would much rather... We're going to do the desert. Desert is significantly better. I can also take the detour into Prologue again and turn in Dolly. So that's a pretty big deal. Okay. So for the blooper fight here, I guess I'm using Watt. That's fine. How good is Hammer Throw? I can't really use it. Unfortunate. Never really get to use Hammer for anything. The one time it could have been useful, and it is too expensive. I don't want a Power Shock blooper because I want it to actually do some damage to me. So I'll do Power Jumps. Blooper does 3 damage. Ah. Unblocked. 2 damage blocked. This will make my jump do 6. And blooper dead. Next turn. Compared to a lot of other randomizers that I've played, I feel like Paper Mario feels most similar to like a Zelda randomizer with a lot more items. If that comparison makes sense to anyone. There are around, just looking at the tracker, 40-ish items that you need to beat a game. But the way that progression tends to work and the way that combat isn't really that big of a deal makes it feel to me more like how Zelda randos typically feel. I don't have Paracarry. I need Paracarry for sushi. Okay. So I need Paracarry for 3 items now. Very cool. Hopefully he's not very far away. Okay. So the game really wants me to go into the ruins. I have 2 keys. I have the Pulse Stone. I couldn't get this earlier, but Super Hammer I can. It's nothing. So I should be done with Prologue. Really no reason to ever come back here again. Quizmo is also set up so that any location he can spawn in, he always will spawn in. So it's just a constantly free source of star pieces. Just to make it so you don't have to necessarily farm for Merlot's rewards. Red berry is nice. Notably, the red, blue, and yellow berry, the first instances of it you find for each of them are counted as key items. Mario's inventory is fairly, very, very limited. So each of those being a key item makes it much easier to just kind of pick stuff up and go. I'm gonna grab a couple of these for fights in the ruins. So the shop code there just lets me come up here, moves Moustafa out of the way, so I can come up here and get an item from him, along with the item that was on the roof. All right. Now, where is Paracarry? Going to I guess this is the time where I should go back to Mount Rugged also. Yeah, after I'm done with the desert, I will dip into the ruins, and I will likely leave and go back to Mount Rugged to clear out the couple checks there. My first upgrade block. Is Paracarry good today? He is. I am a big Paracarry fan. So, 1 FP shell shot now does 6 damage. That is going to carry me for quite a while. One more upgrade if I get the Ultra Stone. 7 damage shell shot is kind of just the best. I'm going to grab that Power Plus. A lot of people are probably also, if you don't know Paper Mario very well, the desert is fairly intimidating. It is a 7 by 7 grid of rooms. And only a handful of those rooms have actual checks in them. The route that I take isn't necessarily the most optimal according to statistics. But I feel like it works out very well for how I tend to actually play the desert. Let's see, does Lackey get me anything good right now? I'm not going to be using Lackey to cheat logic, because I could do literally anything with Lackey. He is the partner that lets you beat the game. Both power pluses. Okay. That is incredible, especially if they're usable. Free repel gel. Alright, since I want to dip the ruins, I'm going to come down here to the 5 block room real quick, and then go up from there to ruins. The 4 exterior blocks are all coins. And ruins, likely, there's a little bit I can do with 2 keys. 3 keys would let me do pretty much the entirety of the dungeon, barring a single check. So if I find a key in here, that's not terrible. But if I don't find a key, then oh well, I'll just leave. And go to Mount Rugged. The only things on Mount Rugged that I know about are the Pyramid Stone. But there is also a single check that I can do with Paracarry now, other than that. But I do need the Pyramid Stone, so I would have had to go back there regardless anyway. Anything? It's money. I'll take 50 coins over the stone cap that sells for 15. Okay, only 2 checks left. One of them is a pokey gauntlet fight, which I have enough items I'm not really concerned about. And I can first strike this pokey for pretty much free. Okay, yeah, they're very weak. Five HP would mean, at this point, chapter 3 scaled. Kind of unfortunate. I would have honestly liked for these to be higher scaled to get more experience off of them. But it's fine. I'll take it. Because since I have Power Rush especially, I want to start power leveling a little bit when it's possible to do so. I need at least one BP upgrade and one FP upgrade. I'll just leave that. In order to use Chet Rippo. And Chet Rippo is the source of the Danger Mario strat, honestly. Oh, it's only 2 enemies. If that had been 3 or 4 enemies, I probably would have just thrown a shooting star at it. But once I have Danger Mario, then combat will be fairly trivial. I say once because it likely will happen. Only a few things left to grab in the desert. Notably this hammer block. This block I noticed that people don't necessarily know about. This randomizer was recently not really added, but it is in beta for Archipelago. And I have seen people mention that they didn't know that those checks existed in that room. In vanilla, that hammer block needs to be hit 100 times, and that was shortened to 10. In the very first alpha release of the randomizer, because hitting that block 100 times is not really something you want to do. Every single seed. I feel like most people probably would have just hit it 10 times and then left the last check and just said, if it's that, whatever. Okay. I guess I'll grab the pyramid stone. Oh, fire shield's also over here. I'll get fire shield too. I am a pretty big fan of fire shield strats on Bowser. Just because fire shield lets you manipulate Bowser in such a way that the fight, especially if you have Danger Mario, becomes incredibly trivialized for what is actually a very complicated fight. The Bowser AI is very strange. Most enemies in this game have very scripted attack patterns. The exceptions being really just Crystal King and Bowser. And even Crystal King is heavily scripted until his HP is very low. Okay, so there's a Koopa's Fortress Key. There is... The game is telling me to go to Chapter 3 at the moment. I could go grab sushi in the sewers. That wouldn't let me beat 5 at the moment. I'd be able to come pretty close. But with the items that I currently have, I can do everything in Chapter 3 except fight the boss. So, that is, to me, the calling. There's no like hint system in this game, so there's no way to really guide that. You kind of just have to figure it out from the items that you have. Maybe someday. I feel like a hint system would turn these seeds from pretty fast into incredibly jet. Although also they might force you to do some really bad fights. Who knows? So Forever Forest here. I just have the entire map memorized. I can't really describe exactly what I'm doing. It's right 2, left 1. Saying what I was doing messed me up. And then after the bubble, it's right 1, and then right 2 when you come back out by the beehive, and then there's a check over here too. All of the trackers have a map for forest of some kind. The tracker version for anyone who wants to learn this randomizer. Not to like brag or anything, I think the maps are very good for that. A lot of effort was put into making them very clear. Okay. I actually can't do the basement because I don't have boots. Okay. Rare, but whatever. No, I'm not going to cheat that. I consider it. You can open that chest behind the booze back. It's a little bit easier with Bombette, but I'm gonna try and stay in logic before I just go doing it wild and crazy things that this game allows you to do. There is also glitch logic. You can, all of these tricks that I'm considering doing, you could make them logically possible in the item placement. It is also probably worth mentioning that I rolled this seed last night, and a randomizer update was released 2 hours ago with new features. So I do not have the new features. But I wasn't gonna roll a new seed and be like, yeah, let's you do these new features that I've literally never done before and just see what happens. Notably, I did write a bunch of glitch logic that got put in the new release. But the tricks that I wrote logic for are also very difficult, and I would not feel safe doing them in like a showcase. Because one of them in particular, even when I am practiced at it, every fail takes about 30 seconds to reset. And it is a frame perfect trick. So that's not really on the list of things that I would want to force a seed to make me do. Unless, of course, I'm playing it on my own. And time is less important. Okay. This is an incredible item to get early. The Palace Key is one of the worst casino items in the game. I'm not going to bother getting an upgrade. So the Palace Key, literally all it does is it opens up the boss fight in Chapter 7 in Crystal Palace. There are no checks behind it, so reasonably so. There's no reason for the randomizer to really require you to get it until you're otherwise go mode. So finding it early is always a blessing. there are a few other items like that that I still have not found, but it's definitely a big one. Also notably, none of the checks I'm currently doing are in logic. The randomizer actually expects you to have bow for this dungeon in order to be able to hide from things like sentinels, in order to dodge spikes. But at the same time, I need bow to go to chapter 4 anyway. These will eventually be in logic. I'll take that. It's not like skipping these is necessarily advantageous. The logic of, yeah, you don't technically need these things right now, but you'll need them. You'll probably need to check them eventually anyway. Come on, third tubby key. Nope. No vanilla key. All right. I'm gonna go grab sushi. And then probably take my trip back to chapter 5. And I'll probably just break chapter 5 wide open because I can. So, chapter 5 is one of the few exceptions in my list of, I'll play like in logic a little bit. But chapter 5 lets you kind of just do whatever you want. So, grab sushi. It's actually probably faster to homeward shroom to get back to the whale. Trying to think of the number of room transitions. Also, because I have sushi and Watt, I am obligated to save the children. When you're going through Jade Jungle and you don't have Watt, you have to kind of make the call of, is it worth helping these children lost in the jungle? Or should I just leave them here? More often than not, I would prefer to just leave them there. But since I have both partners, I am capable of saving all of them. So I should probably do it on the first trip. Unfortunately. That does mean doing 2 fights here. I have a life stream, so it's not really a big deal if I don't block all these. This fuzzy does more damage than I can manage. Yep. This is where I'll use the shooting star. I'm going to use the upgrade block in the jungle to upgrade Bombette so I have some AoE, potentially. Yeah, it's fine. These children just take so long to save. Is it really worth going through the effort for a single check? To be fair, with different kinds of settings, like that Red Yoshi can have a check of his own because he has a letter tied to him. But typically, The only thing that you get for saving them is a single check on the Yoshi Chief. Which is really just like so much work for one item out of a pool of 350-ish. But then there's ones like this blue Yoshi over here that are kind of just in the way. Because there's an item over here regardless. So like, this Yoshi always gets saved. Because you can peek the item that's in the water by coming over here to save him anyway. And then there's this Yoshi, that if you don't have Watt on your first trip through the jungle, which can happen if you come to chapter 5, say through the sewers. But without Watt, you can't save this Yoshi. Just quickly activate and deactivate Watt's ability. It saves like a few frames to just deactivate Watt before he leaves. I already checked that. Now the question is, can I actually save the yellow Yoshi? That's a problem. I have a repel gel. I have a way of doing this. It's just gonna be kind of slow. There's probably a Magic Koopa in this fight. There isn't. Oh, okay. I was worried about a Magic Koopa. But I can just do this. Tap. For 2, I might not have needed to actually use the repel gel, but it's fine. So there is one more Piranha Plant fight. Little concerning that I used all my items there, but that's fine. I still have a repel gel. I still have Fire Flower for some AoE damage. I can use Watt to Power Shock a Magic Koopa. Not the end of the world. Let's come over here, save the last Yoshi. You also may notice throughout the game that I have the jingles shuffled. So like that was the sound effect for going to bed. Not necessarily the one for saving the Yoshis. But yeah, Deep Jungle here is typically not that big of a deal. Just a few rooms. I might be able to make use of a Dizzy Dial. Gonna do a little shortcut here. Don't mind me. Record. Cool. Alright, so I definitely want Watt for this fight. I mean, I have a repel gel. I'm not too worried, per se. Do I have anything else? I have Power Rush, I have Fire Shield. Power Pluses are not very good. Badges are a little sketch. I have an Ultra Stream if I need to use it. 4 enemies is kind of what I was afraid of. The Magic Koopa needs to be dealt with. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just do this to get some damage off on everyone. I have a Maple, so I can Power Shock again. This might be a problem. Alright, we're gonna Dizzy Dial. Cool. So, I want to really just start chipping away at these. I'll probably eat the Maple soon. I can kill one plant, eat a Maple, Power Shock once. Okay. I'm actually going to eat the Ultra Shroom first. Yeah. This is just for safety. If I miss the poison block, I would die. Well, now I'm actually just dead. Unless he does Poison Breath. Ah, okay. Question is, where was the last time I saved? Could be a problem. Probably not. Oh, I didn't save. Oh, okay. That's bad. Yeah. That's probably just a rip. F. Yeah. I don't know if I can do anything about that. I could roll a shorter seed if you want to do that instead, but that was just a bad position to put myself in. Yeah, because I don't know.
Yeah, if in that case you think that there's no recovering, then probably a shorter seed would be a good idea.
Yeah, that works. Won't take me too long to roll a short seed.
Cool. Well, while that is going on, I will remind everyone that we are doing this run, the shorter Paper Mario run, as long as the longer one you were just watching, for the Liam Foundation. Their mission is to encourage, assist, heal, and empower the LGBTQIA+ community through respect, advocacy, and passionate hearts to promote thriving in society. They just did the first ever Pride Parade in Rockford, Illinois, that they helped organize. They've been doing D&D meetups, support groups for trans and non-binary adults, queer teen meetups, adult peer group meetups, all kinds of things to help build and coordinate community events for the LGBTQIA+ community to just help and support and be a part and give everyone just that sense of belonging that is so important. If you have money and you'd like to donate, please do so at this time. All money goes towards the Liam Foundation and their goal of helping the LGBTQIA+ community. We do have, among the incentives still going on right now, a Oracle's Seasons Oracle of Ages randomizer. You get to choose which randomizer you'd like to see. Maddie will be running that one. I have heard that one of the two of them is much longer than the other. I believe that one is Ages. So if you want to see a good 5-hour run of Oracle's randomizer from The Legend of Zelda, I do recommend that. She will let the community decide which one she wants. Also, if someone happens to donate 50 for each, or the community decides to organize together, $50 for each of the two, she'll do a shuffler of both of them and then just be busy all day. So, feel free to donate. And with that, Phantom, are we set for the next run?
Yep, that was fairly fast.
Cool. Alright, let me reset timer. Pop. And I'm ready when you are.
3, 2, 1, go.
There we are.
So, this seed instead will probably take me like an hour and a half. Typically, it's about how these blitz seeds go. So, the difference in blitz here, we actually start with 150 coins. I'll grab these anyway. And I'm going to be going immediately to Shooting Star Summit. And checking what chapters I need to beat. Since I have Cooper, it's probably going to be chapter 1. So, there are normally 7 chapters in the game. Blitz does 4. Because I just rolled the seed, this is also technically on the new version. Is this the sign that they meant? No. Somewhere there's actually a sign that tells you the requirements. But I have not seen the new version yet. So I need to do 3, 5, 4, and 6. Oh, good stuff. That's pretty good. 3, 5, 4, and 6. Interesting. I'll just go straight to prologue. That means I won't be going to chapter 1. I won't be going to the desert. I won't be going to chapter 7 either. Prologue is not tied to a single chapter. So this is always required. Not needing chapter 7 means I very likely will never get Ultra Boots. Yep, non-required chapters will always not have progression in them. These seeds typically for... I guess I can say since my part of the current league season is over, I finished all my races. In Group 1, which would be like the top 4 racers, I went 5-1. So won 5 races, lost 1. And these seeds typically are between an hour and a half and an hour and like 40 minutes. You will likely still see items that I don't need, like the Lunar Stone just there. Even though I don't need to beat chapter 2, it's still going to pop up as a junk item. I'll grab a few star pieces. Merlot can never actually have anything in these settings, but he could still have like badges that I want. Just no progression. And since I have Cooper, well, it's a badge, but I'll still do this. This is a... okay, garbage, but still. Fun little Cooper trick. Because that room is slanted, you can actually jump up on the edge there. I probably don't need... no, I don't need to go to 1, so I don't need coins. Okay. Some good badges so far. I will be getting rid of some of this junk real quick. Because my Sphere 0 is so small, not needing Chapter 1, I'm fairly incentivized to go straight to Chapter 3. The game really gave me so much junk. The main things that would open up the game for me right now would be boots to get me into chapter... Well, boots plus sushi, really. Would get me into chapter 5. Okay. I guess I'm going to chapter 3. Like I was already going to. Bow would get me into chapter 4, and chapter 4 is huge. A huge amount of checks in Sphere Zero for chapter 4. More not required items. Okay. Well, if I get bow, I can probably do the entirety of chapter 4. Because of the items I currently have. I feel like bow is probably going to be in chapter 3, though. Chapter 4's required set of items is very, very small. You need bow to get in, you need the toy train to get to subsequent stations, and you, in quotation marks, need the key, or need the cake, in order to feed Gourmet Guy. I say quotation marks because I will probably end up skipping that. Wouldn't be allowed to do it in races, but I have the resources to do it. Of course, if I just find a cake on the ground, I'll gladly feed it to Gourmet Guy. But the randomizer logic does expect you to actually make the cake with Tasty, which would mean a source of getting cake mixes. Not quite vanilla. Wrong seed. Okay. Actually, yeah, Boo's Portrait doesn't get me a whole lot here. It gets me the ability to go to Gusty Gulch. But without Paracarry, Gusty Gulch actually isn't very exciting. There is a whole 3 checks. The way these blitz settings were originally designed was to kind of mimic something like a Zelda Baron Dungeons setting. Could be good. So that was kind of the goal when Blitz was created. Notably also with Blitz settings, there is an experience multiplier of 50%. So fights are a little bit more rewarding. While also not being... It's just in a kind of a way to make up for having to do significantly less fights in general. Anything here? Ah. I see. This is the wrong Boo. Wrong Boo, right location. These are supposed to be in the basement. So I will probably... I have a choice to make here. I could check Gusty Gulch, or I could go straight to the library in Boo's Mansion. I'm gonna check Gusty Gulch, yeah. and then come back. I have a strong feeling that Bombette is around here. I could just be wrong, but there's not a whole lot of other reason to give me boots at the moment. Unless Bombette is over in the area or Sushi is in the area. Jade Raven. Okay, I was right to come over here. Goombas are 9 HP. That should be chapter 5 scaled for 3. Okay. So this is a weird case because not all rooms that can do this are like this. But the Library of Boo's Mansion is out of logic without Bombette, because technically going down there is a soft lock. But since we have Homeward Room, we can just leave. There are a few other cases where the logic doesn't consider situations like that to be a soft lock. But this was one of the early cases. So both magical seeds meaning immediate chapter 6. Pretty usable badges. Actually, really usable badges. So. Boots plus Lackey I can actually do. Funnily enough, I can do a lot of chapter 6. Because Lackey plus Boots gets me the top right path. I have blueberries already for the right and left paths. Lackey actually can let me do the bottom right path as well. I'll probably show that first because I think it's an interesting one. Also, I would like to get the upgrade that is there. Okay. I was going to say if this is a yellow berry anyway, this is pointless, but... anyway, I'm up here now. Do I want to upgrade anyone at the moment? Nah. Okay, this is chapter 1 scaled. Mega jump could be incredible. Also another Lackey thing. Oh, I don't need that. I was thinking I still needed the scarf. I do have the Waterstone for Lily, which is my main reason for coming over here to begin with. You also may think that, oh, I can't get back here. Well, because I don't have sushi, the game actually doesn't fill this room. It's a randomizer change to not force you to Homeward's room. Also, this gate doesn't have collision on the other side. I will probably abuse the game a little bit. For no particular reason. It gave me Lackey. It didn't give me any, like, incredible incredibly broken things to do with Lackey with the chapters I have, but I don't mind. I will probably just fight these moles. 5 FP. I should have kept the POW block. Oh well. This will be fine. And quickly do the mole fight. I'll go up to the top right path for the machine. I'll use the shooting star on this one. While the fight configurations themselves are random, the moles actually don't get changed. So these are the vanilla mole formations, just with much lower HP. Also kind of worth noting, Lackey is a late game partner, so even not upgraded, he does do a little bit more damage than someone like Cooper or Paracarry does early on. His Spiny Toss does do more damage, does do 3 damage, not upgraded, whereas something like Cooper's Shell Toss only does 2. Which does help a little bit with early combat. Fright jars, whatever. Honestly, I might use the fright jar on the machine fight if it's a enough enemies. I could use this upgrade block on Lackey. I could have just used the last one too. I was kind of hoping for another partner at this point. I'm thinking logic. What does the game want me to do? It's probably going to give me either Watt or Bow or Sushi. More than Bombette or the other ones. So I'm going to upgrade Bow. For when I get her. Because upgraded Bow has Spook. And if I have to do things in chapter 4, Spook lets me effectively like skip the fights in a way. The same as like a Fright Jar. May let you effectively skip a fight. Alright. Also another enemy AI quirk here. Magikoopas, when they're alone, will simply run away. Very minor thing. Okay, I will just clear out the rest of chapter 6. Even if some of it is out of logic. Simply because I'm here. There's probably something in the top left path, so I'll go there first. Actually, I'll go... This is a simple one check. Do bottom left last. Because it is pretty far out of logic with that red berry. There's Sushi. I will be back for her in a second. that is my path to chapter 5, where I will probably clear the chapter, admittedly. Walking. I do want the shooting star, though. I can do this the Lackey way. Lackey actually falls slower than Mario does, so you can drift a little bit more while falling. Makes something like that much easier. And down here, I will do a small trick. Might take a couple tries. Come on, Lackey. Come on, Lackey. There we go. Simple little thing called a Lackey teleport. And oh my god. That is why we don't allow that in races, but it's a good example of why we don't let people do that in races. Regardless, Bombette Super Hammer is really good. I'm going to be going to chapter 5, though. And the fertile soil. That was 3 key items. 3 key items out of logic. We'll take that. That probably means that the red berry is, like, right over here in chapter 5. More likely than not, I will probably immediately see a red berry. But whatever. Again, blooper is literally not a problem at all. How good is Sushi? Sushi's pretty good. 2 FP for her high damage attack. And I have super boots. Trying to think if there's any partners with this chapter set that I wouldn't actually be required to have, and it doesn't look like there are. Yeah, because I need Bo to enter chapter 4. I need Paracarry for chapter 3. And I need Watt for chapter 4 also. I technically need the Ultra Hammer for chapter 5. Also, one minor thing about Blitz settings is it tends to make combat harder, but also much more, yeah, there's the red berry. Much more interesting, I think, on average. Grabbing Hammer Throw because I will more likely than not get the Ultra Hammer sooner rather than later. Okay. Just gonna go over here. Grab this stuff on the way too. Before I go into the jungle, I guess. Just in case I can get like some good items. Beach is typically pretty stacked. There's a lot of items here, so no reason really to not clear this out before going in the jungle. Okay. Speaking of two of the best badges in the game. Interesting. Very interesting screen. Okay, Paracarry Dictionary. I saw the mystery note. I don't technically need it. The main thing that the mystery note does is it tells you that chapter 4 is logically completable. Because I don't play with nice. Randomizing the overworld puzzles. So therefore, I already know the solution to the box puzzle in chapter 4. But the mystery note tells me that when I have Bo, it expects me to go over there, basically. Paracarry means that I can do chapter 3 stuff pretty heavily. I'm just going to go into Deep Jungle. No reason to save any of the Yoshis because I still don't have Watt. So I'm going to freely just choose to skip them. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unironically, getting close-ish to go mode. Also, that yellow berry is technically not in logic, because that is not a replenishable source for yellow berries. Even though it's treated as a key item, it's still, the game still wants you to have a replenishable source of them. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I'll just use Sushi. Sushi's fine. Yeah, I can just Shooting Star and kill. So, 9 HP Piranha Plant should be chapter... It's a low scale. Likely chapter 4. I don't know off the top of my head, though. 3 or 4. Not super relevant. I will take this. So there are a couple checks left in the jungle that I haven't done that I may want to do before going in the volcano. I don't technically need the Ultra Hammer to be able to beat the volcano, but it does make it much more reasonable. Triple Dip is very good. Actually an incredible badge. I will do the couple jungle checks in this first room over here. Just because I would like to have the Ultra Hammer. Hello, Shy Guy. Hello? Okay. Yeah, this is 4 scale because the Shy Guys have 7 HP. I was hoping that that would do everything I needed it to. Because of this. It's fine. I'll take the extra experience. Oops. This does get me an early level up. And I do really, really want BP. We have a lot of really good badges. A lot of Chapter 2 items also. Alright, I'm gonna go over here. If I don't get the Ultra Hammer in the volcano itself, or from this tree, I will just beat the volcano without it. Okay. Which is all fine and good. Worst case scenario would be if I beat the volcano out of logic and then end up having to come back for a single check that I can't currently get. But at the moment, I have no reason not to dive the volcano. And it really doesn't take much to beat this dungeon. There are 2 upgrade blocks. I'm gonna actually grab these. Because I would really like some strong partners. Sushi's pretty affordable. 2 FP for Squirt is honestly more than I could ask for. I have not checked Paracarry, but unless Shell Shot was 1 FP, I don't really care per se. Alright. That's a rock. Two more checks down here. And if the Ultra Hammer is not vanilla, I will get creative. Alright. The metal block there destroyed itself automatically because I don't have the Ultra Hammer. Kind of just a little safety. However, I think I will... I think I don't want to have to come back in the volcano. So... just let me find myself this little corner. No big deal. Okay. Tapped right too early. And don't mind me, I'm in the next room. I'm gonna upgrade Sushi here to Ultra Rank. The Blitz settings do start with the Ultra Stone, so you can immediately upgrade partners. Also worth noting, this is how it works in vanilla. If you make it past this loading zone, the block just disappears. That is a vanilla behavior that was maintained for a randomizer. So that little fall that I did out of bounds, it's not very complicated if you know how out of bounds works in Mario, Paper Mario. But it is a fairly major sequence break behind a single item, which I am likely going to find anyway. And I still do want to find the item, just for damage output. But at the same time, I don't really want to deal with all of the implications that coming back to the volcano would force upon me. Before I just throw myself behind Colorado. Yeah. Oh, okay. This is the Chapter 5 boss. It's called the Loading Zone. And I have now beaten Chapter 5. I was considering going down below to fight Lava Piranha. But because of my badge situation, I don't really want to deal with the fight itself. And there are so many other things that I could be doing. That I'm just not going to worry about it. Namely because I have Bumbed, I have Lackluster, I have... Okay. A lot of other things available to me now. I'm going to do what was probably the rest of the sewers checks. Let me sell these ultra shrooms. Likely what I'm going to find is Bow in order to enter Chapter 4. And once I can enter Chapter 4, I can pretty much beat that chapter. And I have enough money here that I can pay off Rip Cheeto and buy all 11 of his items. Only the first 6 can be progressive. But the other... Okay, I guess I really didn't go out of logic. But whatever. Since I could have just come here to get the Ultra Hammer, I wasn't even out of logic. But you know, that's sometimes how out of logic ends up being. Amazing. Thank you, game. I will get these on the way back. You can hit that item block without the Ultra Boots. And I'll be doing that in a sec. Okay, it's not required, which is probably more of a sign that I just don't need Ultra Boots anyway than anything else. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna pay off Rip Cheeto. And hopefully get something I can use. Current items I need are Bow, 2 Tubba's Castle Keys, Bean, water, and I guess technically water. There's Bo. Okay. I'm still gonna pay off all over Cheeto. The longer I can push off chapter 3, the better. Okay, Mega Smash is good. FP Plus is really good. I'll put that on for fun. How is Mega Jump? Mega Jump is mediocre. Okay, 107 coins. I can check some new stuff that's appeared at Ralph. Like a very nice FP Plus. Okay, so I just need to put all of my upgrades in BP, basically. I have no reason to go with any other stats. HP Plus and FP Plus badges are both really good. I'm likely not going to be getting any kind of like Danger Mario build going. So it is almost guaranteed to be a pretty tough but fair fight against Bowser. Could need the coins still. So my main strategy is looking like it's going to be using Mega Smash. 4FP is fairly good for that badge. I guess I'll end up checking Merlot before I go to Chapter 8. I have a lot of star pieces. There's a chance he has something useful. And pretty infamously, I guess, these Shy Guys tend to have at least something good. Just due to the number of checks in this room. Bean. Alright, just a bean. That's still very good. So I guess I'll just go straight through. If I never find Watt, it's not a big deal to me. Obviously, I would really like to have Watt. But I'm not torn up if I don't find her. I may check Paracarries. I have so many maple syrups. I'll probably check Paracarry in a bit. In terms of what his costs are. A 1FP Shell Shot would make me replace Sushi as my main partner. But I would need to find... Okay, that's definitely not one. So I guess Sushi is my main partner, barring getting Watt. I will be doing a little minor sneaking through Chapter 4. I say minor. but nothing I do here is technically difficult. And it does make things go pretty significantly faster. I don't have an item for you. Sorry. But you don't like fire pops. He actually will take 3 different cakes, though. The normal cake, you would feed him in vanilla. He will take a strange cake and a shroom cake. If you happen to come across those items at random. So, green station here. 3 checks past, well, 4 checks past the gate. I consider the shy guy not to be one of them because you can see him, but nothing important. Very peculiar, I guess. Logically speaking, I probably do have access to a cake mix somewhere. Trying to think of where it could be. Probably Chapter 3 shop has a cake mix. Chapter 3 shop or a crate in Chapter 3. The only items that there are only 3 items that I need to get that I can't skip. And that would be the Tubba's Castle keys and the Miracle Water. Free money. I don't need that. I will fight Lantern Ghost here, I think. Okay, incentive. Big incentive, actually, to go over there. Okay. I'm going to upgrade bow before I do this. I would like to have more damage. And Fan Smack is like a prime candidate for just having more damage. The real funny thing will be if this is a vanilla Watt. As unlikely as that really is. Probably not using that on this fight. Could use Hammer Throw, actually. So if you use the hammer, you can only hit the lantern. You can't actually hit Lantern Ghost himself. Very nice high scale. Fan Smack is incredible. So I have to make a choice here. Do I want to have 3 life shrooms? I'm fine with that. Very likely this attack is basically unblockable. It is blockable if you know the timing, which I don't think really anyone does. So he's going to do the stomp attack next turn no matter what I do here. do have plenty more. I'm going to do Fan Smack here using maple syrup. The next attack he uses will be the beam attack again. But this turn he's going to blow out the light. So to conserve my resources a little bit, out of sight. He has 19 HP. He blows out the light this turn. And then he'll do the stomp next turn. Very scripted encounter. So I'm gonna think about my general guy resources. I may actually choose to not do this out of logic. I'll do the 2 checks over there and see. Okay. Due to the scale of this chapter, we'll decide when I actually get over here. 2 more checks in Red Station. But a chapter 7 scale general guy is probably one of the worst bosses to have at high scale. Okay. I'm gonna leave this and just go to chapter 4. Or chapter 3. Turn in the stuff I have on the way. Because I got Storm Key, I got Frying Pan. And I can kind of just beat my way through Dark Koopas to get back to 3. There's still maybe the possibility I don't find Watt, but it's very unlikely. That is a very good badge. Although it doesn't help me with Dark Koopas. I have D-down jump. Okay. I have a Thunder Rage, I have a Shooting Star. Sushi. Okay. This is doable, but sketchy. And by sketchy, I mean, like, could be slow. Dark Koopas are not particularly hard, but they're an annoying enemy. Do it this way. A little bit more damage out. Okay, I can do Tidal Wave if I need to. It's not too expensive. So that'll probably be the strat. Okay, I want to conserve my items a little bit. Okay, that's fine damage. Because with Mario, I can just do this. And Sushi kills that one. Should put me... Yeah, perfect. Exactly where I want to be for a level. Yeah, I don't need much damage here. Because of items. And items in Paper Mario 64 all do piercing damage, as far as I'm aware. I can't think of any that don't. Whether it's Thunder Rages, Shooting Stars, Fire Flowers, Coconuts. Okay, so I have the record, I'll do that. And then I'll go to the basement. Basement is primarily for shop checks. And then I'll have to make my way to Tuppa's Castle. Which hopefully he just has the third key there. Honestly, very nice. I don't think that that necessarily makes Mega Smash irrelevant. But Ultra Boots are very good to have. Just in terms of overall damage output. I'm unlikely to see many more level ups. Unless I go out of my way for some. Which wouldn't be a terrible idea, honestly. In Chapter 4, it would be pretty easy. Just to get a few more. The Shy Guys in Blue Station are pretty good targets for experience. Yeah, there's my cake mix. I will grab it. Just in case I'm not go mode by the time I decide to go back to Chapter 4. Which at this point is pretty unlikely, I think. Considering I logically need 3 items, but technically I can beat it with only 2. So, Tubba's Castle, I'm looking for hopefully just the Tubba key. Miracle Water shouldn't be too far out of the way, considering how much I've already done in the other chapters. This is really the most dense location still left to me. By a large margin. Last Stand might not be useful. With everything I currently have. But we'll see. I do want that badge. I have super jump charge, so power bounce there actually is a pretty big deal, mostly for Junior Troopa in Chapter 8. With everything that I currently have, I might not have enough power to make use of it for, say, Bowser. This is fine. I actually kind of want to kill them. I'll do this just so they don't kill me and waste a life shroom. Assuming I block. Okay. The experience from this is actually very, very worth it at the moment. Only because I got the encounter. Trying to avoid it. That's fine. Gives me more BP to work with. I am going to use upgrade blocks on Watt when I pass them. The chance that I find her is just so high. It'd be very weird to not. Unless she's in the volcano. In which case, I'm sorry, Watt. The one volcano chest. No thank you, Clubba. As far as badges go, I think the only things that I really want to see are maybe like quick change. Quick change would be a pretty big deal for just getting partners out when I need them. Speaking of, no, I can't deal with you. Yeah, this Clubba chases you. Tapped a little bit too far left on my control stick. Okay. Ironically, I'm getting a new controller from USPS today, assuming they actually deliver that package. Be very bizarre if there's literally nothing in Tubba's Castle, though. I mean, there is still plenty to find elsewhere. But I'll have to actually start looking in the recesses of the world. There's a lot of places that I typically wouldn't go to, or I have skipped over because of the chapter selection, basically. Not needing to do chapter 1 or 2 really disincentivizes the shortcut pipes. But there are a handful of checks behind them regardless. Behind the what will be an Electro blooper fight. And then there's also the Shrink Stomp chest, pretty notably. Okay. So it looks like I need to dig through the sewers. Which is mildly unfortunate. But shouldn't be too big of a deal. Super jump charge is good. Power bounce is like usable. I'll put hammer throw on. Although I could probably just use mega jump. Put on a power plus. Okay, this should be fine. Electro Blooper is easily the least threatening of the bloopers. By a large margin. Controller. I will need to heal. That's fine. Oh no, I don't. I can kill this turn. Because Electro Blooper takes every other turn to charge. It's doing effectively half as much damage because of that. Two of those pipes are dead. And the prologue pipe is only useful if I have the dolly to turn in. Very unfortunate. Okay. Cool. Very unfortunate that I had to come here, but whatever. I'll take that. I will drop down here and use this upgrade block on Watt. So all that clearing Chapter 3 is going to do for me at the moment is unlock more Ralph checks. But I have no real reason not to do that. So I guess I will just go back down there. I can look at what I have for badges. I don't think anything's going to be particularly interesting. I will want full HP for this fight. I don't have much damage otherwise. Unfortunately, Mega Jump is a little too expensive on the FP front. Because there's not much other damage output that I have besides Fan Smack. But Fan Smack is pretty good on Tubba's Heart. Pretty good. Chapter 5 scaled is what I put this at, so that's... Tubba's Heart will have 55 HP. The way that the heart works, you only actually need to bring it down to 5 HP, not 0. So I need to do 50 damage. Which is mostly just deciding if I want to use Out of Sight. Using Out of Sight kind of wastes Bow's damage output pretty heavily. But I think it works out. So I'd be doing 8 with so 18 on turn 1, 8 on turn 2, 8 on turn 3, 16 plus 18 is 34, 42, 52. Yeah, it works out. Where I can do this damageless and kill on turn 4. Pretty minor thing, just how low the numbers are in this game makes it pretty easy to do quick math. Sort of calculating and planning fights before ever coming near them. Especially for something like Tubba's Heart, where he's going to be doing a significant amount of damage if it does get to attack. So at this point, I'm really only looking for Miracle Water, but I would love to see what. And then I can make my way to the final boss gauntlet. I do have cake, or cake mix, so I can make a cake that is a single check. I can also fight Anti-Guy in Chapter 4. That chest might have something for me. Honestly, I kind of want the experience. Gladly take 40-something star points. I'll level on Tubba now, guaranteed. Yeah, because I have one more power plus I want to equip. I have an HP plus that needs to be equipped. I would honestly prefer to have more HP, so I'll probably end up leveling HP at least once. Probably on one of the final bosses I'll level HP up to 20. Okay, does this one more time, and then Fan Smack will kill. And of course, like normally, the heart is the real boss. Tubba is still not an actual fight. At chapter 5 skilled, he probably has like 14 HP or something. Yep. 14. So stuff in chapter 6 for me to do. There's the mole fight. There's the lackey fight. I don't have the crystal berry, so that's not a thing. Only 2 checks there. If I was looking for miracle water. There's still a couple checks in the sewers. There's a couple, like, straggler checks in Chapter 5. Although most of the Chapter 5 checks I can't really do anything about. Three of them are gated behind Watt anyway. Chapter 3 is now also completely full cleared. So I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup. To find... Probably will end up finding both items, honestly. And I would not be surprised if they are both on Ralph. Even, like, one after the other, chapter-wise. Would not be out of the realm of possibility. Okay. I say that. I will make a cake real quick. I'm inclined to check Chapter 4 first before doing anything in the sewers. For badge equips, can I put on a damage dodge? I can if I take off something. Although that doesn't really help me there. I would like to be able to use Mega Smash. I don't really need both FP pluses. This is mostly because damage dodge lets me live a hit. Guaranteed. And as far as I have for other stuff, that's fine. I would much rather burn through life shrooms than anything else. Okay. I'm inclined to actually try using Lullaby. I think this can work. Okay. I'll use this first. Try it again. And then worst case scenario, I eat a life shroom. Okay. If this is nothing, I can just reset to my save. I don't want to necessarily burn through all these resources. Fan smack, that's fine. Good thing I have 2 life shrooms. If this is a required item, though, that is pretty rough. I can buy life shrooms in one of the shops, I'm pretty sure. But I am not against just save scumming this check and resetting back to the save. Okay. We're not taking that. Funnily enough, that would have been required if I needed to do chapter 2. Okay, this will be the last thing to do in chapter 4. Be really funny if I just happened to roll an absolutely terrible seed. It started off pretty good, though. That can't be required. All right. So there are 2 sewers checks. There's a couple checks in chapter 6. Let's do the chapter 6 stuff. I actually already did moles, so it's just lackey. Yeah, it's just lackluster. But this won't be too bad to do. I have lackluster, I have super blooper. I have an ultra boots block in the sewers. I have pretty good reason to check that, honestly. It's just very out of the way. Just in general, like... very close to a full clear. Come on, lackey. Do me a favor and be progression. So if it's not this, I have the 2 checks in the sewers that I'll do and then go to chapter 5. Okay. Actually, I will... I'm gonna skip super blooper still. I'd rather not have to fight that. I think Ralph had Dizzy Stomp. If I don't get progression from the last 2 possible checks before super blooper... Okay. I'm gonna leave... I'm gonna leave the volcano check still. I'm gonna hope that... Well... I can skip Watt. I can technically not ever get Watt. She's just really nice to have at the end of the game. I'll hope she's in the cloud. And if she's not, I'll just move on. It's fine. Chapter 1 scaled. This is not particularly problematic. It really just isn't, yeah. Even without Mega Rush, Power Rush, or anything, this should still be plenty of damage. There's also the possibility that Watt is in Ralph set of items here. Okay. So I can only charge. That's fine. I'm gonna charge, eat the maple next turn, and then just bounce, I guess. He does wind this turn, so I can just smack. Huff just can't do enough damage to really be a threat. Especially at Chapter 1 scaled. The Puffs will attack this turn, and then he'll eat them to heal. See if 2 charges is enough. Yeah. More than enough. So, with the experience I have, I'm probably only leveling up 2 more times. And with that in mind, 1 BP and 1 HP level up. So I'll have 20 HP for Bowser, which is more than enough. I have 2 life streams and a repel gel. I need to make sure I don't use those on General Guy. I'll probably buy more life shrooms at Harry's store. Before I go back into Chapter 4. I will also save before doing this trick because it does have a very small chance to soft lock if I mess up my angles, but that hasn't happened in a very long time, surely. Unless Watt is here. Hey, never mind, no trick needed. Okay, that actually makes things significantly easier all around. Having Watt is consistent damage on Bowser, good damage on Junior. No life shroom, okay. It might be the other store. But yeah, that is basically now just a rush through the last boss fight, and then the boss gauntlet of Junior Troopa, Bowser, and Bowser. With what I have, this shouldn't be too big of a deal. Watt is good. Level-wise, I actually do want these for this fight. I want the FP Plus also. I shouldn't have taken that off to begin with. That way I can get some charges out. I guess I should also check. Okay. Watt is good enough to make use of. So so this fight is very tough, admittedly. There's a lot that could happen. Blocked one, it's fine. I have Fire Pop, I have a Maple, I have a Thunderbolt, Thunder Rage, okay. The idea here is to charge up Power Bounce on the Shy stacks. So these are the Stilt guys. They do quite a bit of damage at Chapter 7 scaled. So, I'm gonna have to use Mega Shock. I don't have enough damage output to defeat a Shy stack in one turn. They have 15 HP. And General Guy himself, I believe, is 45. So I need to burn through a good chunk of what I have there. I can start charging now, though, because Watt can take out the... The plan is to charge while Watt takes out the rest of these Shy stacks. Charge / get FP back to charge more. So I have one charge. That means my damage starts at 5 at the moment. Damage will start at 8 when I get to my bounces. Should be fine. Okay. Damage will start at 11. Which means I would need a 4 bounce. Which is more than reasonable. I could have opted to turbocharge there. Okay. Yeah, I level up on Junior Troop. I might also level up on Hallway Bowser. Depending on the strength of the Dupla Ghosts. So, just about at the finish line. One of the things that was added in the update today that is not on the seed is the item, well, the power at the start of Chapter 8. When the Star Spirits give you Starbeam, that is now a random item in or can be a random item in new builds. So when I go up here, I will be getting Starbeam, but I wouldn't be surprised to see more and more people playing with that as an additional item in the pool. having Starbeam potentially earlier in the game actually adds some interesting strategies. This is the sign. To open the path, you need 4-star spirits. Thank you. New content. That sign. I think that's mostly just as a reminder for like what you need. Because this game does have a power star hunt also, which is similar to like a Triforce hunt in, say, Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time. Power star hunt gives you anywhere from 1 to 120 power stars that you can set to be in the pool, and you can also set how many are needed to effectively beat the game. And now you can also combine that with chapter requirements. So how many star spirits and power stars you need in total, whereas before it was one or the other. So let's see what the scale of these duplighosts are. It can't really be very... Well, it could be high scaled, actually. It could be as high as 6 scaled, but it's probably either 2 or 3.
Don't forget to save at some point.
Yep, I will save after I kill these. Triforce pieces and FF1 has that with shards. Makes sense. Alright, so what I want here... I do want more HP. I'm going to put on Dodge Master also. So Junior Troopa, I don't really want to get too into power bounce caps, but Junior Troopa is able to stop your power bounce as low as 3. With Dodge Master, it raises the minimum to 4 and also makes it easier to progress further. So Dodge Master makes this a bit better of a fight. This is still going to be a little sketchy because of how expensive these are, but probably not a big deal. We'll see what he does here, because I can go for a power shock. I got a 5 cap. That's not terrible. Okay. I will lose a life stream. I don't necessarily mind that here. Junior is a tough fight when stuff is this expensive. I will be leveling on this fight also, and I'll be leveling up HP to 20. Yeah, I'll just Thunderbolt him. He has an attack here that 20% chance. Yep. 20% chance does 9 damage. I normally have more damage than that. I'm gonna just save scum. Oops. Like, yeah, jump. No, hammer. That's fine. I'll go for a power shock on turn 1, because then I can alter my strategy a little bit. Okay. Cool. We're gonna do Chill Out. And Chill Out reduces his attack power by 3 for 4 turns. Makes this a little bit more reasonable. I don't want to use my Repel Gel here. I would rather lose a Life Stream to Junior than a Repel Gel. Okay, so that wore off, which is fine, that's expected. Now, worst case scenario here is Junior can heal. He can only heal for 10 though, so it's just a minor annoyance if he does. And I would rather hit him with the hammer. Okay, so we're going to be doing a lot of hammer strats, which is cool, but also very different. Mega Rush, I don't need Dodge Master. I would like to have another Power Plus, but I don't think that is going to happen. Honestly, Last Stand is not a terrible idea. And I think we're good. I guess I'll just put that on for fun. I will not be leveling on Hallway Bowser. He typically gives 69 star points. Nice. But 1 Life Stream and 1 Repel Gel for final is plenty. Mega Smash will do... With what I have, it should do 10 damage to Hallway, 9 damage to Final Bowser per turn. I can only do it 3 times. I might want to equip D-Down Jump just in case for the 8 damage attacks. But the plan for Final Bowser will be to tank a Life Shroom and hopefully have enough damage. Probably from D-Down jumps, actually. I don't have a lot of FP. $13 out of 20. 13 times 5 is 65. Versus 40. In that case, I want to not attack with Watt here. Perfect. I have Last Stand on. The way that was all set up, if I had hit him, he would have had a very high chance of healing there. Amazing. So to avoid the heal, I decided to just not attack with Watt and take a hit. If I had a bit more damage, I could kill through Star Shield here, but I am not quite strong enough. And then I'll swing back down and use the Toad House because I'm not leveling up here. Well, Actually, I have Last Stand. I don't actually need to. But I would like the FP. So I will do it anyway. To get some more damage off. I can use Mega Smash in phase 1. I should be using D-Down Jump in phase 2. Yeah, I can't use the Fire Pop for this. Unfortunately. The Fire Pop would put me at 4 HP, which would be risky because I would die to fire. And I don't want to burn my Life Shroom in phase 1 unnecessarily. Let's see what this is. Incredible. I can go beat chapter 2 now. Yeah, the difference between Blitz and any, like, sort of all sanity or more sanity kind of seed. When you have more options, something like Bowser is significantly easier to deal with. But we're pretty low level. Admittedly, what level am I? 7. I'd say 7 is fairly low level for fighting Bowser. And our badge selection is not necessarily the strongest. We have a lot to work with, but not a lot of FP to make use of the abilities. And if I had upgraded more FP, I wouldn't necessarily have the damage output because Power Plus is 5 BP. But with what we have, 20 HP is able to set up Bowser to be very reasonable. Just because we are trying to avoid him ever healing. So a Life Stream revives us at 50% HP. Bowser will only heal... The formula is fairly complicated, but at 50% HP, Bowser would need to be below 25 HP. No, Mega Smash. So the idea is to do as much damage as we can. And after tanking a Life Stream, take one more hit, put on the Repel Gel, and from there we should be able to just kill Bowser. I may end up pulling in Bow for like an extra turn if I need it in phase 2. But I'll gauge that situation depending on Bowser's shield patterns. So in an ideal world, we see something like Claw or Stomp turn 1, Fire turn 2, and then Claw or Stomp turn 3. That would give us 3 turns to work with. Bowser is most likely to shield on turn 4. He could shield on turn 3. But very, very rarely he would do so. Okay. I probably will want to turbocharge, but I want to delay it a little bit. Okay. So ideally he doesn't do fire again. Because that gives us 1 extra turn. Okay. Unfortunate. That puts us at 10 HP though. He's likely going to shield on this turn. So what I want to do is at 33. I'm going to use this turn to switch to bow. Yeah, okay. Because this will let me take the hit, use bow for an out of sight, and then repel on the next turn. Which in theory gives me more turns to work with what I have. More turns to work with full damage here. So with Mario, I'm doing 2 turns of 8, that's 16. I need bow out to out of sight one more time. And Bowser has decided to win the fight. Okay. The gamble there... Yeah, there's nothing I can do at this point, because I do this and he kills me. But... GG Bowser, yeah. Unfortunately, there was nothing I could do, but that's effectively it. If I had one more life stream and one more repel gel, I could have won. But I don't think anyone is too disappointed. Down to RNG at the end.
So are we calling it there?
Yeah, I think that's good.
That's fair. Well,
we don't need to go through the Bowser fight again.
GG's Bowser, as Chad is saying.
GG Bowser, yep. It happens.
Well, thank you, Phantom. That was fun seeing 2 runs.
Yeah. You know, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It's fine. For those that have tuned in and are curious, this is part of one of our bonus runs for the FFR Rando Marathon that we ran last weekend. This is all in support of the Liam Foundation, an organization that encourages, assists, heals, and empowers our LGBTQIA+ community through respect, advocacy, and passionate hearts to promote thriving in society. They've been working since 2015 in the Rockford, Illinois area, and they're helping to make that community safer and better and everything you can think of. So if you have a little and you can give a little, please do. We have the incentive to choose which Oracle's randomizer that Maddie will be running this weekend for the Legend of Zelda Game Boy Color games. The link, of course, is ffrando.com/donate. You can go right there and donate. I'm sure Danny will get a command in chat as well for you to click on that. Please support, please give. It's a great charity, and all of your money, 100% of it, goes to the charity. So, yes, please do. We will be doing 1 or 2 more runs this week for the bonus runs, and then we will move on from the randomizer to other stuff. Of course, if you like what you saw and you want to see more, come to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com, which we have so much going on there, and Final Fantasy Randomizer never stops. Phantom, thank you very much. Anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
No, that's good. Unfortunate how the things turned out, but that's whatever.
It happens.
Paper Mario can be that way.
It happens. It's fine. It's no big deal. And hopefully we'll have you back again for another run, like, in the next marathon.
I will definitely be submitting.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right, to everyone out there, thank you guys for watching, and we'll have more stuff coming up. Check our schedule, check in with the community, and we will see all of you all later.
understand now why you've always been so strong.